Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter what time you're joining us or catching this as a replay, you have arrived at The Vibe. I'm Yvonne Myles, and I'm the founder of Vibrantly Living You. And this is a health and wellness movement that's dedicated to helping you overcome negative habits that might leave you feeling less than your best and instead adopting positive lifestyle practices that will lead you and help you claim health so vibrant, it's as though you're aging backwards. So, first of all, if you're new to the vibe, then quickly, let me tell you what it's all about. We are all about connecting you to new ideas, creating new perspectives, connecting you to other thought leaders and leaders in the health and wellness field, all so that you can step in to pulsating, vibrant energy. We've been doing that this year by learning about the chakra system. That is actually one of the tools that we have that maybe you haven't even thought too much about. So I'm really curious if you've ever woken up just wishing that you had this special all-wise mentor or maybe a friendly little angel on your shoulder whispering to you, giving you pearls of wisdom about how to be really healthy, how to make the best choices, and then make them gladly and be happy about them and make it easy. I know there are many times that I wish I had that. And then I realized I do have that. It's the chakra system. That's what the chakra system can do for you. And that's what we've been exploring pretty much all of this year. Over the last few weeks, though, we've been focusing on the throat chakra. That's the chakra number 5, otherwise known as Vishuddha. And it governs emotions, expression, and stepping into being your own authentic self. Because when you are able to speak out and stand up for yourself and speak out about what's important to you, then you are living in, embodying the energy of confidence. Confidence, being your true self, speaking your truth. When you don't feel able to do that, then that energy gets blocked. And blocked energy leads to illness and disease. And that's the opposite of pulsating, vibrant health. So we want to avoid that. So if you've been following me for any length of time, then you know that I am a passionate Nia teacher. So let me tell you really quickly about the Nia technique. It is a complete lifestyle practice that's grounded in awareness of your body and its natural design. And then we connect to that awareness and that design through sensation and through movement. In fact, in Nia, we say, through movement, we find health. So as a whole body fitness technique, Nia borrows it draws upon dance arts, martial arts, and healing arts to create that feeling of aliveness, to connect you to your body, to connect you to your emotions, and most importantly, to connect you to your uniqueness. Now, there are thousands of Nia practitioners around the world. And let me tell you, I am head over heels excited that I have one of the shining stars of the Nia community. I know she's saying, "Oh, you can't be real about that." Yes, but she is one of the shining stars of the Nia community. Her name is Sarah Nickerson, and she is here with us today. And what a perfect time for us to have a discussion about expression, about the throat chakra, about healing and Nia, and why it just feels so good to move your body and to express yourself. So let me bring her on. so that you see her. There we go. Yes, and there she is waving for us. Hello, Sarah. And I want to say welcome to Catherine, who is also joining us from Phoenix. And if anybody else wants to hop on this Zoom line with us, that would be wonderful. Let me tell you a little bit about Sarah. Sarah is the founder of In Spirit. She is a Nia choreographer, which means that myself, as a Nia teacher, I get to deliver and teach her Nia routines to my students, and I absolutely love them. She's also a member of the Next Generation Nia faculty and also a member of Nia's Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Council. Sarah believes that everybody is meant to move in their own way and in their own time, and she invites all who dance with her to come as they are, authentic and whole. That is just so beautifully said, Sarah, and it is such a welcoming invitation. And so I give you an equally warm welcome to the vibe. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy to be in your light and your warmth.
Oh, thank you. I think we have another person joining us today, Julie Wilson. I don't know if she's going to come on screen or not. Julie is another one of the teachers, Nia teachers here with the Houston Nia Collective, and has been one of my longtime students for the long time. So welcome, Julie. And I'm so glad you could join in with us. So Sarah, tell us a little bit about In Spirit.
Thank you. Yes, in spirit, it means to encourage and enliven. It also means to fill with spirit. But really, what I have created is the possibility of a space that allows us all to dive into the sensation of living a meaningful life.
Mm.
And Nia is the beginning of it for me. Nia is the practice that I entered into with this. But as I'm also a seminarian in an interfaith, interspiritual program. I'm 1 year through. I have 1 year left. Hi, Julie. and and so there was these, I call them spirit nudges, that kept kind of pushing me gently pushing me into this conversation of the sacred, but also beyond that, it's more about what is meaningful. And so In Spirit is a space that's going to explore many aspects of living a meaningful life. And we also have something that was really important to me as a Nia teacher and trainer and human, was to create a community of teachers that had diverse bodies and diverse stories. And so if you attend a class at In Spirit, you'll see that, you'll feel it, in that the teachers that are in our studio are all from different areas of the country, even the world, and also just different cultures, just to be in a place of, oh, I see myself there. I see myself in the space, and allowing that to be part of it, is part of In Spirit.
That's really beautiful. And I feel that when I've joined your classes online. So I have to ask, I'm hearing this strange sound. Is anybody else hearing that?
Yeah, I think it's might be coming from your speaker, Yvonne, that little buzz that came up the other day. I'm not sure.
Well, let's see. That was different. But let me tell you what, I'm going to well, that was
There you
weird.
go.
Did somebody do something? I didn't do anything.
I think you might, well, I don't know, but it works.
Okay, we're going to go with it. And if it happens again, then I'm going to disconnect my external speaker. So, okay.
Sounds
All
good now.
right. Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah. That's one of the things we learn about with Nia, how to be agile, go with the flow, and
Exactly.
everything else. Okay. So, everybody has a Nia story, it seems. And everyone is different. So there are thousands of Nia stories. I would love to hear yours. What's your Nia story, Sarah?
Well, I was attending yoga. I was a yogi. I did Ashtanga yoga, which if y'all haven't done that, it's very structured.
Mm.
It's the same moves every single class, every single time we enter the space with that kind of yoga. And I was going to a studio where the class before me was a Nia class. I had no idea what it was, but people were pouring out of the room, smiling and sweaty, and I was, I'm one of those people that's like, that's a little, I don't know if I want any of that. And also I think I might want to give that a shot. And it was Kelly Ray Oyen, who is the teacher, who is also a trainer and choreographer. And so I decided, what the heck, I'll try it, I'll do it. And I walked in and I took a class, and I was in the very back, and I stayed in the very back for a long time, and I was very quiet. It was very private for me. I wasn't sure if it was for me or not. I wasn't one of those teachers who said right at the beginning, I stepped in and I'm like, oh, this is it. I wasn't one of those. I was still like in a private healing place, and it took me a while to kind of be with it. And then but then it's after that first class, I wanted more. So I kept coming, kept coming, kept coming. And as I kept arriving, I'd go slowly towards the front of the room and felt more comfortable being in front of a mirror. That was a big part for me, that I had to heal a lot for myself, being in front of a mirror while moving my body. And then I realized I hadn't ever been in a practice that allowed me to sweat as much as I did, and to feel as much as I did, and to express as much as I did, and knowing that I was getting a workout was just like the cherry on the cake, or whatever that phrase is. It just was the beauty of it, without it feeling like exercise at all. And I fell in love, and I started taking it once, twice, 3 times a day, as much as I could, until I decided to take the white belt. And then when I was in the white belt was really the moment where I knew I had a feeling I wanted to be a teacher, but it wasn't until I saw there was a reflection moment in the white belt where I knew that was what I was meant to do. And that's how I arrived to it.
Oh, I love that story. There are some parallels to my own story, which I will not go into at all. Catherine's got a heart up. Yeah, that's fantastic. You did say something that I found really interesting that's relevant to our discussion today, and that was that you had this feeling. It was your body was speaking to you. You were actually listening to your inner voice. And remember, this is all about the throat chakra and expression and voice, and you were listening to your own authentic inner voice, whether you consciously, were making that connection, but it kept saying, I want more, I want more. I'm so glad you were willing to listen to that voice, because it brought you here today. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's really wonderful. So what is it that you love the most about your work?
Oh, wow. Well, it's evolved. I would say it was incredibly, like I said, private at first. It was about me coming into my body, and it was about me healing and becoming a sensational person, actually listening to this body that sometimes I have a tendency to be not so kind to, just through my words, through my voice and my thoughts. So I'm still on that path privately. But as far as what this practice has brought me is this beautiful connection to others who are on a path, seekers, I like to say, seekers who are on a path for personal wellness, personal development, growth, but mostly just interested in the world around them. And again, coming back to that inspirited life, like how can we create meaning together? And that's what I find more than anything now, is there's the educational aspect of it, but for me, it's more about the reciprocity and the co-creation of being in community and being with others that I haven't found anywhere else outside. I'm a singer too, so that's great around the voice. It's similar to that experience, but since it's more movement based, it has a different feeling to it. They're similar but different. but that thing, that magic that happens in the moment of being in community and co-creating with each other. Whether I'm a teacher, student, doesn't matter. It really is the same to me. It's the same level.
Yeah. Yes, and I get to experience that weekly in my classes since we've gone back to the studio. Especially yesterday's class was really, really powerful. Sometimes there's that little magic thing that just happens that just runs through the entire group. Yeah. I- our mentor in this, Debbie Rosas, the co-founder of the Nia technique, s- says, and I love this, that sensation is the language of the body. Sensation is the language of the body. So once again, even more, there are those pearls of wisdom, that little angel sitting on your shoulder, connecting you to your own body through movement. Okay, so why is it that you think in particular, Nia in particular, is so healing? You might have just already answered it, but yeah, let's throw it at you another way.
Yeah. I think why Nia is so healing is that it really is based on the science of the body, the way the body is meant to be moved, the way the body is constructed, the skeleton, the muscles, every part of the body has a specific way of how it loves to move. And Nia comes from that place. And then not only does it come from the body's way, so is the universal, how our bodies are meant to move, and everybody is individual. So then it leads to your body's way. So even recognizing that the four of us that are on this call right now, if we were to step into a class, we would all have our body's way with the movement. And so that freedom within the form of the body's way, the way that the body is constructed, and then saying, but how does my body fit into this? How does my body lead into or move into that body's way? The skeleton, the muscles, the bones, everything about it. And then I think it's the fact that it's not just about the body. It's the body is where it begins, and then it leads to the mind, and it leads to spirit. And not many organizations and or exercises are willing to put that out there,
Mhm.
that it actually is connected to our body, our mind, our spirit, and our emotions. So the emotional release that happens in a Nia class, and sometimes if had it happen many times where it's unexpected, where I cry, where I break down in laughter, or it's just there and I didn't know it was coming, and or I feel overwhelmed by life when I walk in the door. And then at the end of class, I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel so much better. And there's also that spirit quality, which is for Nia, it's like connecting to the uniqueness of who we are. So it's the unique self showing up, and that is our spirit being expressed through movement. So there's just no other practice like it. There isn't. And sometimes I say there might be something else out there. I'm a seeker. I'm always looking. But when I really come back to it, there isn't. There isn't anything else out there like this.
Mm. You know, we often say that, when you try to explain Nia to somebody, everybody has a different way of explaining it, exactly what it is. And I wish that I could, well, actually, I have this recording now of your. Now I know how to really, really wonderfully explain Nia. Yes, you hit everything there, especially the uniqueness of the emotional expression and Nia as a practice. And the Nia founders and Nia students and teachers around the world. Yes, the body's way, Catherine says, yes, the body's way, your body's way, and the body's way. But yeah, to be willing to say it's okay to express. And the other element to me for that I've noticed is that in other movement techniques, it's like there's just one note for expression, just one note. You're supposed to be, that no pain, no gain type of, go for it mentality. Whereas we hit the whole symphony, or allow the entire symphony of emotions are allowed. Yeah, thank you for that. What have you witnessed in yourself and your students as a result of practicing Nia? If you feel comfortable speaking for your
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. What I've witnessed in myself is the willingness to um, open up to. I come off as an extrovert, but I'm an introvert, which I think a lot of Nia people are. Not, I mean, both those, and so for me, it's been able to empower me to be in community in a different way. And it gives me a language of how to be in a community when I feel like I'm shy or that I need to kind of go into a corner and get my silence on. I at least have a language that I can come back to with a group that has the same language. But also, it's created a new way for me to live outside of Nia. It is a lifestyle. And so I feel like I'm bringing this practice into every part of my life as a singer, as a wife, as a human on this planet. And that has been the greatest gift of this practice. And I guess for the students that I've been lucky enough to be with, I feel like it's the becoming more of who they're meant to be kind of feeling of the no holding back, the stepping in. And I'll tell a quick story that I just taught a group of women who had never done Nia before, ever, ever, ever. And they just happened to call me and say, let's do something. Can you do something with us? I'm like, yes. Have you ever done Nia? No. Okay, let's do it. At the end of class, it was tears, tears, tears. And it wasn't that I was playing sad music. It was that they fully embodied the experience and they didn't expect it. They were so surprised by their tears. And what that shows me and what that Nia continues to do is that possibility of stepping in, even if we have an expectation, and then changing us in that hour. And then again, letting that hour changes us into the rest of our lives. It just is part of the lifestyle part of Nia.
Yes, indeed. It's that, once again, that connection to the throat chakra, stepping into your authentic self, that which you were not able to express for whatever reason. And
Mhm.
then suddenly the right environment happens, the right music, the right teacher, the right people around you, the right feeling in your own body. And that's probably what it is more than all of the others. It's that right feeling in your own body. Yeah, yeah, that's
Absolutely.
that's wonderful. um is there anything particular that you do, very special that you do, to actually help guide your clients or your students, I should say, into being comfortable in expressing their true selves?
I think that just like Nia, there's levels 1, 2, and 3. And so in expression, that's the same. So one's voice is very personal, and it sometimes takes practice of using it to be able to be expressive. And the other part that I think I do use a lot is my voice itself when I'm teaching and sounding and letting that be part of the experience, singing sometimes, so that the voice is activated that during our movement practice. It's not just movement, movement, movement. This is also part of it. Whether it's us saying yes, no, ah, e, oh, ooh, ah, ha, ha. There's all these different sounds that can arrive organically. And so I like to think that, just as someone has to get to know me and my voice for them to be able to feel comfortable to use theirs. So my hope is that when I am holding space for people, that me showing up as me, and I know that sounds, it's not a small thing, right? I mean, I know it's like, we could easily throw that off, like, well, who else are you? But for me to show up as me in the authentic way I am, whether that means I'm having a day that's not feeling great or I am having a day that's feeling great, I can show up that way. And then therefore our community is more comfortable to be in that same place. and there is a felt sense of authenticity. And if that isn't there, then the others just can't quite, get there. But if we show up as teachers that way, and use that level 1, 2, and 3 interaction to know when they're ready to be with us in that new level, then I think that's a really powerful place and an inviting place to be.
Absolutely. I could not agree with you more. I sometimes when I allow myself to go really deep into a movement as a teacher, I do it for myself, obviously, but I also feel as though I'm giving permission to my students to go as deeply as they want to go. Invariably there's a place in a routine where I really get deeply into the moves, and I say I just go somewhere. I'm not quite sure where, I'm here, but I'm also there. And I love that feeling of being able to be so authentic and so comfortable that I can do that. It's that dynamic range, like you're saying, of level 1, 2, 3 of emotion. And I know that that is helping my students also do the same. Sarah, you are full of such wisdom around this. It is clear that Nia is the path for you and your lifestyle. Before we tie up this first part, since we've got two other people on the line, I'm not putting you on the spot or anything, but I'm just curious if you have a question for Sarah, or I want to give her, show her some special love or anything. If you do, just unmute yourself.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Hi, Sarah and
I
Yvonne and Catherine. Lovely to see you all. Sarah, I have been learning. So I'm a new teacher. Yvonne has been one of my teachers for many, many years and was my introduction to Nia. So what better introduction? And I've been learning new routines to teach, and I'm just so inspired when I watch you dance. And when you on the TV, when you're teaching the routines to teachers, and it just makes my heart sing. It really does. Your energy and your vibrancy, it's really special. And I think the first time I saw you, I was like, wow, she reminds me of, picking bits of all my favorite teachers, right? Because you embody so many different great elements of Nia. So yeah, I'm here actually, I just want to say, in my office, and I'm in a space that I'm hoping to teach to my colleagues in, and I was hoping to get the technology to work to put you on the big screen right next to me. It didn't work, so that was why I was late. And I have my mask in case anybody does come and join me. But yeah, I didn't put it out there that I was doing this in case it didn't work. But I am thrilled to be here live, Sarah. And I guess, do I have a question for you? I'll think of one. Maybe Catherine wants to go next, and I will think of a good question.
Well, and I'll just say we're going to tie this piece up, end this live stream, and then restart it so that we can actually dance with Sarah. So if a question bubbles up before she has to go, then you can ask it then. Yeah, Catherine, did you have, but thank you for that, Julie. Thank you. Thank you so much. I have to say, Sarah, that I think the thing that has drawn me to you, watching you on the TV, is the way you move and the way you just kind of float through space. You make me have a different feeling about my own body, but also your voice. It's your voice. It's just like this big pot of honey or something that I'm just slathering on my body or something. Your voice is so inviting. It's just so soothing. That's the word. It's soothing. It's so soothing. Yeah. So I know it's hard to get all this love, isn't it?
Oh, it's so good. I mean, yeah, I mean, I want to, you can smother in honey and, bathe yourself. And I mean, I think that sounds great.
And sing more for us, Sarah. I love it when you sing, when you're dancing. Sing more.
Yeah, yeah. Catherine, anything quick from you?
I don't have a question. I'm just excited to be joining the Vibe live, and I'm excited to dance Nia. So that's it.
Okay, all right. Well then, let's do that. Let me just first of all ask Sarah if people who are either watching us on Vibrantly Yours on in our private group or watching this later on want to be able to connect with you, how would they do that?
Well, we're on social media, Facebook and Instagram, In Spirit Santa Fe. You could also search under my name and you'd find us. The other part is our website, inspiritstudio.com, and that's about to get a major makeover in the next 1 to 2 weeks. And it's going to be this really beautiful way of connecting to the community, but also more diving into ourselves. And I guess that's the best way. And, email is always available, and you can get that from Yvonne. You can send me a message on Facebook. Happy to give it to you.
Wonderful. And after this broadcast, after we end the second part of the Vibe, we will put a link to your inspiritstudio.com out there so that you have a quick and easy way to find it.
Sounds
All
good.
right.
Thank you, Yvonne.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.